Hello everybody, welcome to Micheline Makes Vlogmas again, and it's day 14, and I shouldn't forget that because that's my son's birthday. Happy birthday, son. He's just sent me a message saying thank you. I was sitting today, I was getting my jobs done this morning, and his lordship was finishing off some plates for me. I asked him if he'd trim them, and all of a sudden at about 10 past 10, I went, oh, I'm getting pains in my belly. And he said, should I ring the ambulance? And I'm going, oh God, oh, just like labour pains. And he was, what? They're like labour pains? And then I burst out laughing. I said, this is when I went into labour 47 years ago. And he said, oh, don't frighten me like that. When you get your age, I worry. So it was 47 years ago that I started the pains in the morning, but he wasn't 47 till 2 in the afternoon. And I did tell him that this morning. I said, you're not actually 47 till it's 2 in the afternoon. So let's get on with our advent calendars, and we'll start with Kylie in the machine. Now I can't remember who. I do read all your messages. Sometimes I read your messages and I never get around to put the little heart and point out that I've read them, but I do read them as they come. And someone said yesterday, I can't even remember how she messaged me, but she said she'd got this very same Kylie in the machine. She had the same issues with the paper being behind it, and apparently they'd been printed wrongly. And the manufacturer had manufactured them wrong, and this white paper should have been behind the plastic, and they hadn't put it that way. She wrote and told him about it, and I think they refunded her. But I don't really want to be saying that, because I still enjoy the use of them, even though I've had that little issue. And to be honest, I quite enjoyed cutting it with a knife. I know you lot wouldn't, but might not, but I'd quite enjoy it. So let's go to number 14, and number 14 was this one down here, the little Christmas tree. It's a Christmas tree. So we'll go down there and pull that open, tear it off, and let's cut that down. One. Are you too high? I think you're still too high. There. And we'll cut it across that and that way, and take that out, take the little piece of paper out. And what can you see? I think I've got a hold of the labels anyway. Oh, long ones, and again there are 3 little labels. Ooh, I like these. Not that I have many of them, but they are party dress. Like a pinky beige in this light, pinky beige, and it says party dress. So there's 3 of those. Aren't they lovely? 3 party dresses. Go into this one, into this pouch. And they go into there, 3 party dresses. I've got a lot of little, look at them all, they're all building up inside. All lots of labels. And let's start with Sherlock. Now I gather some of you thought his lordship's Sherlock was very good. Got one person saying I much prefer you, so I haven't told him that though. I thought I'll let his head swell a bit. I kept reading all the comments out saying, they all think you're nice, and he's going, do you think I should do another one? I said, well, wait and see. And somebody made mention, again I can't remember who it was, somebody made mention, you only did one Sherlock Holmes. Well, if I'd done the 4 Sherlock Holmes, one after the other, I think I'd have been either very exhausted with my voice, and it would have gone on for far too long. So yes, I have skipped a few. I did skip one after day 2, I think it was, where it was all about numbers, and you had to basically look at it visually. So I missed one, so I was running a day behind, so I'm only 3 behind with them. And so this one is Jack Frost. Watson shuddered. He wasn't sure if it was because of the cold or with horror. Lestrade had called Holmes and himself to the villa of the business tycoon Belfour in Highgate. They had entered a magnificent bedroom where the doors to the balcony were wide open. The red velvet bed curtains were frozen solid and laced with ice. Out on the balcony there was a man sitting on a chair. He was as white and cold as the snow, with his eyes closed as if he was sleeping. Papa had many enemies, said a young woman who was standing next to Lestrade and a couple of policemen in the bedroom. That's par for the course, considering his wealth and immense influence he had. The property business is tough. My father was virtually fighting a war single-handed. Lestrade then said, he froze to death on the balcony during the night. Everyone was asleep. The house is vast, so no one noticed. He was holding an empty whiskey glass and this letter. Lestrade continued and pointed to the 2 pieces of evidence on the sideboard. Who found him? Said Holmes. I did, Belford's daughter said calmly. I wake him every morning. I'm his right-hand woman, as it were. He usually enjoys a drink of whiskey before going to bed, and occasionally goes out onto the balcony to smoke a cigar. But not in weather like this. He must have been murdered. He died of poisoning, probably a sleeping potion. The coroner will determine that. The bottle of whiskey and the glass and the letter have yet to be examined. But what does it say in the letter? Said Holmes. That's why I sent for you, Holmes. Except for one sentence, it's all written in secret code. We haven't been able to decipher it. So I'm going to put that up here for you to see what it says. And reading it, it says, recite the alphabet like a schoolboy and stumble because someone pushes you a step forward, and then you can read. And it's a whole lot of like XF, LOPS, Holmes nodded. I think I know what happened here. Well, if he can decipher that gobbledygook, he's better than me. Right, so on to caboodly doodly. Now, I think it was Sol Libra who did make a point, and I have been thinking that myself, that it's lovely getting this fabric, but I'm getting a lot of Christmas fabric, and I would have liked a bit of something else, so that I felt that I wasn't getting all their leftovers, so to speak, so that they can cut down their Christmas stock. That is a bit of a downside, and I don't know what else. There is some other fabrics and things in here, so we've yet to see what's in here. But this next one is number 14, and it's fabric. So I'll put the bag away, and let's see what's in here. It's blue, it's turquoisey blue. Now, if they've got any sense, they will now give me fabrics that aren't Christmassy. So let's see. Oh, spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. We've got jersey again, 1/2 metre. and it is Jersey penguins. Jersey penguins on skates, and there's a full 150 that wide, half a metre that way. You could combine them all to make one of these patchworky type of jumpers where, do you remember I made one? I got it from the Carla, and I do like the pattern, so I will be making some more again, where you can use offcuts of things. Well, this might make a nice t-shirt where, say, the sleeves are made of this, one sleeve's this colour, one sleeve's with this colour, one part of the front panel's a different colour, and you could make a nice Christmas jumper for that, or a Christmas t-shirt. But yeah, this is another half a metre, and it's turquoise, very pretty, nothing wrong with it. I would imagine this is great for people who have children, people who have little boys and little girls that they want to make little t-shirts for Christmas. So there's another one. So that's your caboodle. Now, so that's this lot done, and you've seen the other one, you've seen the tree, and you've seen the Jackie Lawson one. So that's it for today. Now, what have we been doing today? Well, I've had lots of orders to get out. So then I'm thinking to myself, last night I'm thinking, I'll get my jobs done, and then by that time it's going to be about 11 o'clock, and then I'll go and do the Vlogmas, and then I can have it uploaded earlier. But his lordship gets a bit bored, and he says, are we doing anything today? And of course, to be fair to him, bless him, he's rehearsing and rehearsing, and this, he does have a, he's rehearsing and rehearsing, or he's practicing on his guitar, and every time he has rehearsals, they have rehearsals on a Tuesday night, and for the past several weeks it's always been cancelled because somebody got caught a cold, cancelled because someone's got children to put to bed and they're having issues, cancelled because somebody's got to go and do something. So he's getting a bit chewed off. So I keep saying, well, go and practice your guitar, go and practice. But he says, I've done enough practicing, I'm fed up with it, and if there's nothing happening, he said, I don't really feel like doing it. So unfortunately, this lockdown and this Omicron that's going around is kind of making everybody feel a bit despondent about things. So he said, do you fancy going out? And I said, all right, where are you going to? He says, I don't know. So we jumped in the car, and I said, well, where we're headed? And he said, I don't know. He said, well, where should we go? So we were looking to see where we could go, and because we've bought National Trust passes, and we've bought heritage passes. So we looked to see what was local, and there was nothing local, and he said, well, I don't want to go too far, and started going, and then he took the wrong turning, and we ended up going to the garden centre. We got to the garden centre. Fortunately, he bought a birthday card for his mother, whose birthday it is tomorrow. She's 95. And but we were going to go and have lunch in there. And of course, he's one of these people, if he sees a crowd, he goes, we're not going there. And of course, he saw this crowd of people, and he said, we're not going in there. He said, I don't fancy sitting amongst all those people, especially with what's around with this Omicron. So we did our shopping, bought a few bits, and then off we went. And as we were driving back, the window people rang to say they were going to come and assess what the issue is with the glass on our conservatory, because the roof tile came down and smashed it. It hasn't gone right through, but it's kind of smashed the glass on the top. Unfortunately, the bottom layer is still intact. So they're going to come and do it, but they're going to come and do it in March. So we've got till March to put up with the mess on the top of the conservatory. And the reason why they're waiting until March is because it's all got to synchronise with the roofer's done the roof, but he's got to do the sides, and he has to do the gutters, and he can't do that until he gets a scaffolding. And when he gets a scaffolding, then we'll liaise with the window people, and they'll have the scaffolding as well, the use of that, and it keeps the cost down. So basically, I haven't been able to do much. So it's now 5:15, and I've managed to get this vlog sorted. If this keeps going and I'm distracted, or I'm having to entertain his lordship, I might have to do this once every 2 days. Colds, we still have a lingering cold. My voice is better. Everything's better, but it just, we've gone through, I think, about 7 boxes of tissues, just blowing our nose all the time. So anyway, I'm going to get on with things. I've been sewing. On Sunday night, to be fair, on Sunday night, I didn't really fancy vlogging, and instead I made a dress. I cut it out on the Sunday afternoon and I had it finished by the night time, by the evening. And then I thought to myself, it's a beautiful dress. It's the pattern that I've done is, it's turned out nice. The pattern that I've done is this Lacala, which I like. It's not a plain one. I'm just using up fabric that I've got. But I've done this one. The sleeves aren't wide ones. They do 2 versions. I'll show you the 2 versions. They do 2 versions. And the version that I've done is that one there. I made it long, and it's got this, it doesn't have the cuffs on, but it has sleeves like that. And I'm going to find some time to do a little vlog to show you the things that I've made. Because I've made 2 dresses. I've made a waistcoat. These are all first attempts at them. So they're not, I don't make toiles, I make first attempts. I don't see the point of toiles, I make a first attempt. If they're not right, I tweak them so they do look right. And if I like them, once I've tweaked them, then I will make another one. I will be definitely be making another one of this because I do like it. And I will be making another one of the other one that I'm going to show you. But I'm going to put those into a separate vlog. And I've done a waistcoat. I'm just looking across there, I've done a waistcoat as well. So you'll be seeing that. And my shirt that I told you about, and I showed you the fabric, but I still haven't worn it actually yet. But I'll show you what it's like. It's not that I don't want to wear them, it's that it's not the right weather at the moment. So I've got a shirt to show you as well. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to get on, and I'm going to see you tomorrow, fingers crossed, if his lordship doesn't drag me off somewhere. Oh no, he's going away for tomorrow, so I might have a bit more time. So I'm going to love you, and I'll leave you, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye! Do you know I nearly forgot? I was just busy. It's what time now? It is 10 to 9, and I'm busy putting this vlog together, and I suddenly thought, I didn't do the end of the Sherlock Holmes. So I'm going to do the end of the Sherlock Holmes, because you'll be wondering what happened. Now then, do you remember there was a code? Well, what I'm going to do is put this piece of code up here so you can hear what I'm saying. This is Sherlock speaking. This code is the ROT1 code. ROT stands for rotate. The alphabet is shifted 1 letter forward. A shifts B, B shifts to C, C to D, and so on. The first sentence refers to that. We must switch each letter with the letter that comes directly before it in the alphabet. It then reads as follows. So I will be sitting going, right, that there, and get me a piece of paper, that, right, yeah, that there, all right. Now he can do it in his head. It then reads as follows. We know your secret and we are many. Do not expect the walls you built with our money to save you. Our evidence will bring you down. You swindled us out of our money and destroyed what little dignity we had left. We want both back. Tomorrow a storm will break. Belfort's daughter drew a sharp breath and hissed, "Murder!" Suicide, Holmes retorted. The people that wrote this letter want their money back, but above all they want back their dignity. Mr. Belfort is of no use to them dead. I deduce that a large-scale criminal trial for fraud would have started today. Rather dramatically, they decided to tell Mr. Belfort what he could expect. His death is an admission of guilt. Rather than face the public humiliation of being tried and going to prison, he chose to take his life. He carries out his usual ritual before going to bed and then surrenders himself to the cold. Presumably he took a sleeping potion so as not to notice the process of freezing to death. We will need to check that. I presume you are his sole heir, miss, Holmes said as he turned to Belfort's daughter. Unfortunately, you won't just inherit his fortune. There are also a few skeletons in the cupboard that you've inherited. So she might get the problems as well, now he's died and killed himself. He's left her with all the problems. So there you go, now I'm definitely finished. And now I can go back and finish this off and get it uploaded, hopefully before the night is through. So I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye!